from our director, Neal McCaleb.
Mr. Chairman, members of the authority, thank you very much. I devoted my first month really focused on the Driving Forward program and its implementation. Staff's done a marvelous job of carrying forward the operations of the authority, and they've welcomed me on board, and I deeply appreciate it. We're making good progress on the Driving Forward projects, the ones where the alignment is established, such as the Turner Turnpike. We are proceeding with the necessary geotechnical work that's required and preparing the designs for the proposed widening. On the resurfacing and reconstruction projects on the Bailey and the Muskogee Turnpike, we expect to let contracts on those engineers in progress right now. We expect to let the construction contracts on that by mid-summer. On our new alignment projects, the greenfield projects, two of which there are here in Oklahoma County, the eastern Oklahoma County alignment and the southwest connection between the I-40 interchange, the State Highway 152 connection to the airport. The aerial mapping or aerial flying has been accomplished. The mapping is in progress as we speak, and developing the topographic maps that are essential for the study and the evaluation of different alternative routes, which at this point we do not know. Because there'll be 5 criteria that are utilized in establishing those routes from the mapping data and the topography that we get. One is the environmental, the impact to the property owners along the right-of-way, as well as to the other environmental considerations. Second, which is a function of the first, is the anticipated right-of-way costs of the proposed alignment. The third is the topographic features and hydrographic features that will influence and dictate the construction costs. The fourth is the connectivity of the proposed alignments to the existing highway system, which they're designed to serve. And the fifth is the traffic optimization of the traffic and therefore the revenue. Those 5 criteria will drive the alignment studies as we proceed further with this. At this point, we don't have any alignments, proposed preferred alignments. We expect to have those sometime in the next 90 days. At that point, we will present those alignments to the communities so that they can make comments, so that they can discuss their suggestions with our engineers and ourselves. We expect that, like I say, to happen within about 90 days. There will be public hearings, as the Congressman suggested, that will be at convenient times and convenient locations for those that are affected. We also, early on, sent out an inquiry to all the cities that are located in or adjacent to the corridors, and all cities queried responded affirmatively that they endorsed the project.
All right, thank you very much.
Not my city.
I repeat, we have resolutions from all the cities that are affected, approved by the city council.
But they wouldn't let me in.
Let me tell you all that we're going to conduct this meeting in a civil manner. We didn't have anything to do with those meetings. We intend to have a civil discussion here. So I would ask all of you to please keep your opinions. And if you want to talk to any of these authority members, I'm sure that we will stick around as long as is necessary. But we need to have civility, as Congressman Russell suggested. Thank you, Mr. McCaleb. We have provided on the agenda for public comment today, and Jack Daniel has talked with those who were in opposition to what I would call the Eastern Oklahoma County Tollway, and those that are proponents of the Eastern Oklahoma County Tollway. And I am told that Ms. Pollach, if I can pronounce your name correctly, is going to speak on behalf of those opposing. Ms. Pollach, I want to welcome you. And you have 10 minutes. It's going to be taken by our esteemed council. So please spend your 10 minutes, and we are await your words. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Good? Good morning. My name is Amber Pollach, and I'm one of the many citizens against the proposed Eastern Oklahoma County Turnpike. Unlike Congressman Russell, this has been our first opportunity to engage OTA in a conversation. Information regarding this project has not been satisfactory to the impacted citizens of Eastern Oklahoma County. We're behind the ball on Driving Forward program as far as getting that information out. Let me share with you a bit about the citizens of Eastern Oklahoma County. We are diverse communities with a focus on being good stewards of our land. I am an example of a multi-generational family who farms our homestead and cherishes the legacy of our ancestors. My family seeks to share this legacy with our next generation. The majority of the citizens living in Eastern Oklahoma County selected their communities due to its rural environment. For the most part, it is rural, as this has been the vision of those who choose to live there. Our communities are interconnected through our local schools, commerce, places of worship, and our support infrastructure. The neighbors you see here today represent multiple communities against the proposed turnpike. How is it that Oklahoma, with a population of 4 million people, has more than double the number of turnpikes than California, whose population is 38.8 million? Oklahoma is 42% smaller than the landmass of California. There are many larger states that are able to manage without a single toll road. The turnpikes are in debt. What is the current plan of payment for the debt? Is it to increase tolls and plan more roads to sell bonds to perpetuate the debt? Perpetual debt is not good business. If the data supports a need for a north-south route, what studies have been conducted to review the utilization of Highway 177? Is this route not under consideration? Is this route not under consideration as a result of it being located outside of Eastern Oklahoma County? If so, shame on our representatives for not attempting to collaborate with another county and work to find a better financial solution. In addition, where can we find the study to support the north-south route? Many of our residents have small businesses whose income is generated or supplemented by their land. Examples include farms, vineyards, auto repair shops, and a much-loved equine rescue. The suggested turnpike will have an extremely negative effect on impacted lands. In addition to the disruption to small businesses, there are a multitude of issues related to noise, air, and specifically water pollution that will directly impact the surrounding areas. The town of Hera has multiple DEQ findings related to contaminated water. How will this issue be addressed when the turnpike will only exacerbate the issue? What about our already stressed emergency services? The turnpike dividing city services, specifically in Hera, will certainly stretch their already strained resources to respond to emergency situations. How will OTA address these issues to ensure the health and safety of our residents? A few years down the line, do we really want to be a Flint, Michigan? We have many concerns regarding this project. Communication has not been robust. The placement of the X's on designated roads and private land has caused anxiety as explanations to the communities have not been adequately provided. To date, OTA's plan to hire a PR firm has not bridged a huge communication gap. An example of this was having surveyors flying over the properties photographing the terrain. This is extremely poor program management by OTA and not getting the message out to the communities. The Luther Register reported a quote from Neal McCaleb on 14 January regarding the petition. Mr. McCaleb is credited as saying a lot of them, the signers, are out of state, but it gets our attention, and I understand some of them are coming to the authority meeting on 26 January. It is ironic that Mr. McCaleb is highlighting petitioners that are not in state as the funding for this project will come from many resources that are outside of Oklahoma. Funds to facilitate this project are funded globally. Will Mr. McCaleb refrain from accepting funding resources outside of our state? There is also concern about the funding of this project. According to OTA's comprehensive report year ending 31st December 2014, turnpike bond sales must be approved by the Council of Bond Oversight and must comply with all rules and regulations of the U.S. Treasury Department and the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission. To date, we understand that this action has not taken place and the schedule is not known. This is very concerning when, according to today's agenda, you are already in the negotiating phase regarding construction contracts. What exactly is the financial plan? And more importantly, are federal security improvement funds being used? The taking of our land for the use of building a turnpike is devastating to the homeowner. Visions and dreams for the future will not exist as their homes will be scarred with a turnpike running right through it or very close to it. Eminent domain is very unsettling and the process is not well articulated on your site. Regardless of the number, you will destroy homes, dreams, and futures. You will propose compensation for something that is simply not for sale. The X survey marks are a catalyst of uncertainty. People have stopped their business plans, expanding their crops, planting, building additional infrastructures for fear their land will be targeted without proper compensation. This is not why people move to eastern Oklahoma County. In addition, you have sprung this plan on the people without hearing their voices. This is unacceptable. In addition to the questions I've already mentioned, I've also included a list of questions that have been asked by the residents. This list is not inclusive and we urge the board to meet with us to provide more information. The board needs to answer the following questions and place the responses on the OTA website. Copies of the questions are provided. Why weren't any public hearings held regarding the proposal of the Eastern Oklahoma County loop before the governor and the OTA made the decision? We understand meetings were held with the Eastern Oklahoma County Partnership, but that entity does not represent the whole of Eastern Oklahoma County, and the funding of turnpikes should not be for economic purposes, which are what the Eastern Oklahoma County Partnership represents. What is the upcoming schedule for EOC briefings by OTA? What exactly is the number of homes and businesses that you anticipate displacing? Why are we not using the existing north-south routes? Highway 177 is a perfect example. Do we really need to waste $300 million building a redundant road? How does the OTA decide on the range of construction to be between Luther and Triple X Road as far as the focus for the study area? And I have news, I live outside that range and I have 6 X's on my property. This is very important. What east-west roads will be permanently closed as a result of the turnpike, or will you be building overpasses over every crossroad? Because this is going to split our town. Where will access points be located? What is the data that indicates that a turnpike is going to benefit the targeted area economically? If you look at towns along I-44, specifically Stroud, I would say that they can make a pretty good argument against the focus on economic growth promised with this project. The promise of general economic growth sounds very similar to the promises of Walmart to the citizens of Luther not very long ago. Now, less than 8 months later, we have a large vacant building. Based on the survey information you've received thus far, have you narrowed the study area any further? What is the timeline for the proposed construction project? How long will citizens have to move once they are notified that their property will be confiscated or subject to eminent domain? How will people living in modular homes be able to transport their homes if their land is impacted? Do you have plans to support citizens whose properties will not be bought, but will be affected based on the proximity to the turnpike? Do you have plans to support citizens, compensate farmers who are renting or leasing land? Is the desire for the promised rapid economic growth? Is there a plan to address the inevitable negative effects on the community? This is huge. Increase in the income inequality that we see in areas with turnpikes. Increase in the demand for city services. Increase in the noise, air, and specifically, like I said, water pollution. Loss of small businesses in favor of large corporations. Also, And finally, we have noticed a potential conflict of interest with the current interim board of OTA and an Eastern Oklahoma County home developer and real estate agent. Has the board reviewed this conflict of interest? A sample of the questions that we in Eastern Oklahoma County have that OTA officials have described as minimally invasive. Not for sale! Thank you.
All right.
Members, thank you for allowing us to speak. And like any major project, we understand that there are always fears and trepidations. As Congressman Russell noted, anytime we don't know what's happening, we have fears and concerns. We understand that. Having said that, I do have a couple of quick remarks that I've jotted down. And first, I want to tell you that I know that there are a number of representatives in the crowd from all the communities. I know there are 3 mayors and council people and others. We probably didn't bring signage to match, but in any event, there are people here from all the communities. So on behalf of the businesses and communities of Choctaw, Harrah, Jones, Luther, and Macomb Park, I want to formally express my support for the Northeast Oklahoma County corridor. Our communities and unincorporated neighborhoods represent an area of nearly 90,000 residents, most of whom look forward to increased job opportunities, better shopping and dining opportunities, and overall enhanced quality of life.
When did they call you? Gentlemen, please give them the same respect that everyone afforded their call. Please give them mine.
As a result from the substantial improvement in access the new turnpike will provide. This new turnpike is a result of a cumulative ongoing advocacy effort on behalf of all 5 communities and a growing private sector leadership base of over 3,000 small businesses. And as I said, members and representatives of all 5 communities, both chambers of commerce and the Regional Economic Development Partnership are all in attendance today. It should be also noted that all 5 cities have signed 2 separate support resolutions for this project as well. In closing, since 2011, over 90% of Eastern Oklahoma County businesses interviewed annually cite transportation and infrastructure as a leading barrier to economic growth and job creation in our region. Thank you for your investment in our businesses and communities in Oklahoma County. Thank you so much for allowing us to talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Ross. The purpose of these meetings is likewise to have open discussion. But as has been noted, there will be a number of other meetings which will be set, as Congressman Russell noted, at a time that's not scheduled for the regular meeting of the authority. That will be publicized, and we will be excited and plan to have you, many of you, and others present. The next item that is on our agenda will require us to exit because we are going to be talking in executive session without taking action. We'll be talking about our search for the executive director. Those of you that wish to stay and visit with the authority member, I doubt that this will take more than about 10 minutes. We would encourage you to stay. Can you give us an idea where